When we win, we get it back, then we take it on back to a ladder so unbalanced. It's the Masochist challenge.
Alright, starting off another glorious day on Master Duel, except not really starting. I've already played a few games and bricked every single one of them. Looks like this will be no different. The opponent won the coin toss here, but wanted me to go first. So I am just setting most of my hand and passing on that. Given that they are on a going second deck, this does not feel like it's going to end well for me. Cyber Dragon. Okay. Cannon, discard, add a machine. Cyber Dark. Hers. Okay. Link 2 or Cyber Dragon Link 2. Ah, machine dupe. Now, if I were to do this, do they still summon Cyber Dragon? Why didn't they just target normal Cyber Dragon? I don't know how this interaction goes. Maybe the targeting is all it took. They get another hearse. Do I want to deal with Infinity? Not if I don't have to. Cyberload Fusion. Okay. What are we Cyberload fusing for? Probably the Rampage, because that's a level 5. That'll like pop spell traps, I think. Cyber Eternity Dragon. Well, you got me there. I did not expect that one. Okay. Of note here, we are not dead. I don't think I have any, like, single card. Well, maybe, like, Fusion Destiny keeps me in the game. Yeah, Fusion Destiny would be the one. Light Stage is not the one. But it is not nothing either. I guess we have to find out what hand traps they might have. This could be a Max C kind of turn. No Max C. We love to see it. Okay, well, let's go clear new world. Target Abyss Stingray. Basically, for any level 2, I'll do the Soul Scissors. Into Elf. Elf, bring back the Soul Scissors. Soul Scissors pop. Cyber Eternity Dragon summons a Cyber Dragon. So I will hit over it with Gigantic Sprite by making him gigantic. Go battle here. Grab Hyperia, hopefully draw a trap, I guess. TPE brick, sweet. Guess I will Little Knight get rid of the Cyber Dark Engrave so they can't equip it. And we got to leave it there. I've done everything I can think to do. It was a little bit sad getting rid of Elf, because now I don't have an advantage engine. Hopefully, they have drawn nothing. Can't target fusion monsters with card effects. Cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects, which only matters if they fuse. Fusion deployment. Are we contact fusing into Mega Fleet? Probably. Ooh. That a mandatory effect? Let's go. Doesn't say you can, it says you gotta. No Mega Fleet this turn. Statue of Anguish pattern is a card. Light Stage. Try to lock down that back row. If I sacrifice... Okay. Let's do it this way. Battle Phase. Kill Horn. Soul Scissors come back. Soul Scissors, pop, Cyber Dragon. I think I'm actually going to leave it there. I could link off into Silhouhatte, which is maybe a good idea. They're on one card. Come on, baby. It's only one card. End phase. Okay. Okay. I don't know that I can get to lethal, but this is a very good position so far. Battle phase. Get in for as much damage as I can. They have evenly. I'm going to cry a little. Link into Silhouhatte Rabbit. Goodbye forever, Soul Scissors. Thank you for your service. Silhouhatte. Set. Doesn't really matter. Do I have continuous traps in the grave? I do. So Tiki Piece. It's technically a one-card redoer. This game drags on. Okay. They're doing fusion deployment, so I am going to take the liberty of Anguish pattern so that it, on the new chain, will pop what I presume to be their Cyber Dragon. And they are fusion locked by fusion deployment. That'll do it. Solid. For defeating the Cyber Dragon Menace. What can we pull? At least one holo. I'll take that. Goki the Solid Ogre. Slowly getting some Gokis. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while it points to a Goki monster. Not impossible. Once per turn, quick effect. Target a Goki in your main monster zone. Move that monster you control to your monster's main monster zone this card points to. Alright, very Link's just introduced type effect. Apparition, a hero trap. Puppet Parade, a gimmick puppet trap. Hero Barrier, an elemental hero trap. Another number 104 Masquerade. I guess I'll wait on that 7th Tachyon. An Owl of Luck, a level 2, so let's read it. Flip, select a field spell card from your deck and place it on top of your deck. If Necro Valley is on the field, You can add the selected field spell card to your hand instead. Sure, you know, mostly too slow to see play, but it is a wind flip in case I get a ton of wake cups that can search wind flips. And a Mitsurugi card. This one being Kusanagi, the one that adds back from grave or banishment. Good to see Mitsurugi cards. Not likely to see play in my Masochist journey unless I just get insanely lucky, of course. Alright, Hollow time. Neo Flamvel Lady. That is rather unfortunate. There's maybe cases where this is an okay card just because it being a pyro with 200 defense makes it searchable by certain cards, but overall not a very strong card, not a very strong pack. I say we just hop right back on that ladder. Okay, going second this time. Our opponent's on 59 and 15. The hand might go second okay. Normal, the White Stone of Legend. Baller Shot Caller, Sage effect in hand. We have some old school Blue Eyes gameplay. To summon Jet Dragon, who does not yet have his effects because no blue is in grave. Mandatory search off of White Stone of Legend for Blue Eyes White Dragon. End phase. We have an effectless Jet Dragon. Okay, well, let's try for Light Stage. Add Lilybell to hand. I will not summon Lilybell because I don't have a normal summon in hand anyway. Let's lock down this trap card. Threatening. Opponent cannot declare an attack. Okay. Lord of the Heavenly Prison effect in hand, which will protect all of my set cards that I am about to set on the field. We know they have one vanilla Blue Eyes in hand. I think that is the only thing we know. But at least my set cards are protected. Maybe this will be the biggest quaking of my career. And maybe one day I'll learn to speak clearly into a microphone. Who's to say? Melody pretty good. Okay, discarding the Blue Eyes so that Jet Dragon is online now. Grabbing another Blue Eyes. And the old-time classic alternative. He can't actually pop Lilybell because of Heavenly Prison's effect. So, there you go. Gotta love lingering effects. Priestess with Eyes of Blue. I do have to respond to... Oh, it doesn't matter. Jet Dragon. I can negate Jet Dragon. They probably won't respond to this. Okay. I should have read Priestess with Eyes of Blue effect. That was my bad. It can just send itself to the grave. Adding Dragon Spirit of White. And Blue Eyes Solid Dragon. He is on every level 8 Blue Eyes. Let's go Heavenly Prison. Why not? Set the Fusion Destiny. Kind of bad into Jet Dragon, but I've got to do something. Contributing Jet Dragon. Okay. Ooh, Spirits. Wow. The old school cards are really working out. Targeting the light stage. Okay, maybe there's a card in hand they want to set. Special, a Blue Eyes White Dragon from hand, for sure. I think that was all the cards we knew in hand. Now what? Send them away for Twin Burst. Battle phase. I mean, that was all really cool Blue Eyes stuff that you don't see a lot. A bunch of the older cards, but the Quaking will check that rather nicely. Oh, I activated Dogmatica Punishment, so I can't. Fusion Destiny. Man, that lock in particular, I am just so extremely bad at remembering. Okay. At least the fusion monster can't be flipped face up, so hopefully whatever is in hand is a brick. I guess Lilybell could have attacked directly. Man, I'm letting it get away from me. I'm getting too distracted by the things I messed up there. Is that one? End phase. Okay. I have been given a chance. Tiki Piece. Let's go Little Knight to help us dodge. And then Tiki Piece effect. Bring back Tiki Curse. And Xyz. Do we want to Xyz summon? Yeah, let's do Redoer. Redoer just checks a lot of normal summon monster shenanigans. We don't yet have the firepower to get over their monster, so I do have to just leave it there. But Redoer is also a bit of a draw engine. If I can rip a spell off of their deck. That's a monster. Mausoleum. End phase. Not sure why you would bother. Maybe I can use Redoer over many, many turns to deck them out. What do we think? Normal Terratop. Terratop effect. Now we can get into our advantage engine, meaning Sprite Elf. And they do control a monster, so Lilybell bring back because she can attack directly. Battle phase. Get in with Lilybell. You, sir, are on the 10-turn clock. Okay. Now, Redoer with 2 traps underneath him. Feeling pretty good. Another card off the top, please. Kid Moto Dragon. Extra normal. Sage. We will chain. Bring back Little Knight. The Sage effect in hand, and if you do, yep. So Little Knight will check that entirely. And even if it doesn't, Redoer will do the job. Moon Mirror Shield, very funny. Another card off the top, please. Dictator of D. I think we just go battle phase here. Chip in, Lilybell. Little Knight into the Master. And when Jet Dragon comes back, I stack it on their deck. Redoer effect to do just that. But I'll keep him on the field. Goodbye. And end phase. Jet Dragon in hand. So I do have to be mindful that anytime I destroy something or they destroy something... Ooh, another trap. So I guess I'll just keep on attacking directly and stacking with Redoer. That's the game plan. Retaliating in hand, maybe also good. There is some stuff where they don't want to be under Macrocosmos. Yeah, Redoer effect. Detach their Raigeki and nothing else, so we draw one. Nice, a little Tiki Curse. Since we have a trap monster, might as well Silhouhatte Rabbit. Get the Anguish pattern. Another way to check Jet Dragon. Elf, bring back the direct attacker. And chip away 800 more damage. Thrilling. Absolutely thrilling. I am the best Yugi tuber ever, except that I'm none of those things. Okay. I do have Spell Trap Destruction now with Silhouhatte. Give me another card, please. Nice. Getting a bit of the deck list. It's before the end of the main phase. Okay. End phase. That's fine. Dynamicious, huge. My board position getting more and more secure with each passing turn. Is there anything I want to bring back? I guess Little Knight is a good idea. Okay, they are tired of it, and I don't blame them. All right, for chipping away at the Blue Eyes, what do I get? Marina, Princess of Sunflowers, Half Unbreak, Dark Lord Ukobak, Dark Lord Desire, ooh, Dark Lord pack, Cosmojo, Evo Price, Dudark of the Ice Barrier, and not my first, Dracoback the Rideable Dragon. You know, I could have hoped for better. Dark Lords sounds exciting, since there's new support out recently, but of course these are some of the old ones, some of the not so great ones. I don't know, maybe there's some kind of singular good send as far as a Dark Lord card for Ukobak. I don't think so, though. Alright. Well, another kind of bum pack, I won't even lie to you. Let's keep on grinding. Okay, we are going second this time. I do have Retaliating Sea as a possible hand trap Macrocosmos, and Fusion Destiny, always lovely to see. Going second, a bit of a tall order usually these days on Master Duel. Just kidding, going second is actually easy. Eagle-eyed viewers will have noticed the time limit win on the end screen there. The opponent loaded in, selected going first, and did nothing for their entire timer. So here we are for my incredible patience. Can I please get a, I don't know, a really banging level 2? Following Activate by targeting synchro you control. It cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effects. At the start of the damage step, if it battles an opponent's level 5 or higher monster, you can destroy that opponent's monster, and if you do, the targeted synchro monster gains attack equal to the original attack of the destroyed monster until the end of this turn. When that monster leaves the field, destroy this card. Okay, I mean, not bad if I was on like synchro stuff. Make one of my synchros a like pseudo towers. Roar of the Earthbound Immortal, Lava Warrior, Evil Hero Infernal Sniper, Scrap Rage, Venom Boa, Switch Point, what are you? Choose one monster your opponent controls, and your opponent sends either of the following to the graveyard: the chosen monster or the other monsters they control. Your opponent must control 3 or more monsters for you to activate and resolve this effect. This is one of those cards where it's sounding pretty good. It's sounding like it's doing a lot until that very last line of text. Like, this is still playable, but them needing to control 3 or more is a little bit rough. Like, the alchemy of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is always 2 monsters, 2 that you overlay for an Xyz, 2 a tuner and a non-tuner for a synchro, 2 to link summon. You get the idea. So them having to control 3 for this card makes it not so great. All right, Tao Tai, Shadow of the Yang Zing. I mean, I'm happy to pick up more worms. I don't think this one is great on its own. Yeah. So yet another so-so pack, I'll say. There's stuff like Following that I might eventually play in some kind of build, but for the most part, I think we keep on trucking, keep on looking for better cards. Going second this time around. And in draw phase, Cybernetic Fusion Support. Is this a self-TK? This is looking like self-TK. I mean, you know, I respect that people gotta get their missions done. And I appreciate the free pack. Is this the end of the game? Almost certainly, right? Ring. Sure. It'd be very funny if he just like started playing for real for real. Okay, normal witch. They get their missions, I get my pack. I guess thanks to the opponent for that. GG's. Guy running out the clock and a self-TK deck right in a row. Literally one after the other. I didn't even know people still did self-TK for missions and stuff. That's kind of crazy. Spirit Message L, not my first. Gyroid, Duel Links Classic. Goki Twist Cobra, not my first there. More Goki cards, interesting. One-Way Synchro, take a level 1 tuner from your deck or graveyard and either add it to your hand or special summon it. Unfortunate it's on a normal trap card. If you control Junk Warrior or a monster that mentions it and this card is in your graveyard, you can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. Not bad if you can control the board state enough to capitalize off of it, I guess, but not great either. Senko the Skybolt Star. If an Earth monster is normal or special summoned to your field, you can special summon this card from your hand. Not bad. Level 7, 2400, and has an effect to special itself. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a level 5 or higher warrior monster you control, an attack position monster your opponent controls. Your monster loses exactly 1500 attack and if it does, destroy that opponent's monster. You can only use each effect once per turn. I don't know that that graveyard effect is all that impactful, but, you know, a level 7 body that can special itself, be just like special a Fenrir. Not the worst thing I've ever read. Certainly might come up at some point. Archfiend's Advent, the Gold Sark Archfiend, a Dream Mirror card, and Shrink. Target a face-up monster on the field. Its original attack becomes halved until the end of this turn. Not terrible. You know, you can obviously just use it to hit over an opponent's monster, which I've got cards like that I've run for sure. You can also technically keep yourself from dying to Makonko, potentially, or Yubel. Overall, though, nothing I'm seeing here that I desperately want to add to the current deck. Just kind of more broadening of the collection. Loading in and going first. The hand is looking pretty decent, honestly. I should be able to fiend out some interaction before going into Fusion Destiny. Turret top. Oh, they don't even want to deal with it. Okay. You know, Konami has made a fun and interactive game when people see a singular terror top and they're like, nah, I'm out. I don't know, man. This format is weird. I've had more free packs from people scooping than like ever before these past few months. Hieratic Seal of the Dragon King. It's treated as a normal monster. You can normal summon it to have it have an effect, which is you can tribute this card, special summon a hieratic monster from hand, deck, or graveyard in face-up defense position. Good old Gemini stuff. Bonding DHO. Raid Raptor Necrovulture, not my first there. Ooh, Baba Barber. You know, this card is not crazy, but the link materials are extremely generic. So at the start of each battle phase, you can target this card or one monster this card points to, banish it until the end phase, whatever. But the link materials are just 2 monsters. So you can use tokens, you can use normal monsters, which is kind of nice for, you know, making this and then going into, in my case, like Sprite Elf, or maybe you go into SP Little Knight off of a bunch of tokens. But anyway, decent pickup, honestly. Performapal Laughmaker. The pendulum effect, once per turn, if your opponent controls a monster whose current attack is higher than its original attack, you can gain 1,000 life. Neato. And then on the field, when this card declares an attack, you can make this card gain 1,000 attack for each monster on the field whose current attack is higher than its original attack, except other monsters you control, until the end of the battle phase. If this card is destroyed by a battle or card effect while its current attack is higher than its original attack, you can target a monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use 1 effect per turn and only once that turn. I mean, maybe in the context of Performapal that does something, but I feel like even on Performapal, you probably don't play that. Ooh, okay. Planet Pathfinder, actually great card. You can tribute this card, add a field spell from deck to hand. So any strategy, of which there are many like rogue strategies, any strategy where it revolves around the field spell, this is great for that. You know, Generator comes to mind, where I have 2 copies of the Generator field spell. This, of course, becomes effectively the 3rd copy. Really glad to see Planet Pathfinder, or like Pacifists. There's just a bunch of things where simply adding the field spell is a huge part of it. Inishi Shien's Chancellor and Gen X Neutron. Not an insane pack, but Baba Barber, decent enough generic link. Planet Pathfinder, really great for certain strategies. Also an Earth Machine, not for nothing. Yeah, okay. Slowly this grind this week is starting to pay off. Going first against a player called Newbie. They are on 55 and 12, but I don't know, just calling yourself newbie is a little sus in my book. Let's get to dancing though. I think the move is going to be to make gigantic and just pray that they don't have interaction. They are on 55 cards, so it's not an entirely impossible thought. Summon the Hyperia. Alright, 2 trap monsters in hand. Y'all know what that means. It's Silhouhatte Rabbit time. Setting the Statue of Anguish pattern. The Tiki Curse. The Mimesis Elephant. And activating Clockwork Knight. If they're on a strategy that requires their things to not be machines, that would be lovely. Ohime effect in hand. Okay, Makonko. This is going to be difficult to interact with. Sending the Lava Golem. I mean, I guess I have to pop that. Because as soon as they control an equip card, they can't be targeted. Now, summoning these things in defense with the bigger booty is kind of a dumb idea into Makonko, but if they get into a position where we get to the battle phase, I'm kind of screwed regardless. Preparation of Rites. I mean, they already have Ohime, so grab another Ohime. Why not? I am going to chain on here because they're going to set a spell trap, probably Fire Dance or whatever it's called, that can bring back from the grave. When they do that, I will pop it. Sending the Ritual spell to the graveyard. Why? What does that do? Silhouhatte Rabbit pop their equip spell. It's a shame that I couldn't capitalize on both the pops. Had to choose one or the other. End phase, okay. We know they have 2 Ohime in hand. Okay, let's see how high we can go. So we have 7,100, which brings us to a total of 8,700. So unless they have a Battle Fader, we're good to go. And that, my friends, is the end of the Makonko Menace. Okay, I feel like I earned that pack at least. There's been quite a few free ones this session, but anyway, Mermail Abyssnary. Oh, I accidentally clicked the button. Wow, a lot to take in here. Okay. You can discard this card, then target a water monster you control, destroy one other water monster in your hand or field, and if you do, attack gain, fun. If it's sent from field to graveyard, you can draw a card, then discard a card. Not bad. Barsha is, you know, is Barsha. Earthground Prisoner Groundkeeper probably can't use. Clearwall would have to have the Clear World deck cards. Flower Cardian, obviously. Would need the, like, all the Flower Cardian cards. Never gonna happen. This card, though, Sky Striker Ace Ray. I mean, everybody should know Ray and should know the Sky Striker strategy. But this is a really nice pickup. There are, you know, Sky Striker extra deck monsters that are low rarity. Kagari, Kaina. And, you know, it's always possible that we pick up one of the higher rarity ones somewhere along the way as well. I have not been keeping track of if I have any Sky Striker stuff, because why would I? But now that I have Ray, I'll certainly take a look back and see if I have any of those extra deck monsters, because, yeah, Ray is a crazy good card. Subterra Fiendus, great for Subterra. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Target a Subterra monster you control, negate the activation, then change the targeted monster to face down defense position. You can target a face up monster you control. So on field effect, change it to face down defense position, and if you do, special summon a Subterra from your hand or graveyard in face up or face down defense position. If we ever get Subterra Guru, especially in multiples, that's when the Fiendus will become much more playable. And then we have a Link 4 here, 2+ Thunder monsters. During your main phase, if you control this Link summon card, you can target one of your Thunder Dragon monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. Apply that monster's effect that discards itself to activate, then place that monster on the top or bottom of your deck. You can only use it once per turn. If a Thunder monster you control would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can banish 3 cards from your graveyard instead. So, given that it's like a low rarity Link, pretty decent. The only drawback being, of course, how many Thunder monsters it requires. But if we ever get like a couple of low Link rating, like 2 Link 2 Thunders, that, you know, technically opens some things up there. But that's sort of neither here nor there. The big news, of course, is Ray. So I will poke around in my collection, see if there's anything of note there. I don't think there will be, but if I cut to the deck edit screen, you'll know that I was in fact wrong about that. Anyway, onward. Well, here I am in the deck edit screen. I think I was mostly right that there's not a lot to write home about, but it seemed only fair to cop to what I do have. So I have a Hayate. You know, I have no recollection of when I picked this up, to be honest, but, you know, it can attack directly, and then it can foolish a Sky Striker card from deck to grave. Not bad. But the only card outside of Ray and Hayate that I have is the Equip spell that doesn't really see a lot of play. But it says the equipped monster can attack directly, which Hayate already does, and it can make a second attack on monsters during each battle phase. If the equipped monster destroys a monster by its attack, while you have 3 or more spells in your graveyard, draw 1 card. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target up to 3 Sky Striker cards in your graveyard, except this one, shuffle them into the deck. So it's like, you know, not the worst card, but not particularly strong. There's maybe still an argument to play Ray with Hayate, just because it can force the opponent to interact if they're not sure what I'm doing yet. More so, this could be something, if I pick up like more of the Crusadia cards, I have like 3 or 4 of those, it gives a Link arrow that they can immediately special themselves to, and then enables more plays after that. So I'll think on that. That might be better to play than like the Mystic Potato, for example. But for now, I'm leaving it as is. Well, this hand is a little funky, but at least it does stuff. So anyway, Fusion Destiny. Don't have Asher Impulse. Well, there's the Impulse. Darn. And a Max C. Just in case. I was really hoping, well, I guess the Max C is because they have to after the Impulse, maybe? Yeah. I was really hoping to show off the synergy between the Potato and the Phoenix Enforcer, but anyway, now that that is dead, let's Pot of Desires. See if they have more hand traps. Which they don't. Because we're under Max C, I unfortunately have to pass on Set Potato and Fogblade, I guess. It's a little unfortunate, man. You know, Max C's at 1, but it's still, every time it shows up, it creates a non-game for me where I'm just not allowed to play. Normal Summon March Hare, not the strongest ones, not the strongest, Okay, I was wondering maybe they had a second March Hare in hand or something. They've already normal, right? Okay, banish the Dormouse, special that. Dormouse, bring itself back. And again, this isn't gonna matter. They're gonna activate Dormouse, I'm gonna negate it. And... oh, okay, never mind. It was a non-game from the start. I don't even get to play that card. Thank you, Max C. Alright, going first against a 60-card deck. I was going first in my last duel too, but oddly enough, the game stopped working before I got to the duel. Why do we have a separate coin toss screen and duel screen where they're allowed to just exit out if they don't get their way? This is my question. Okay, no hand trap there. Lilybell effect special. No hand trap there. Make the ginormous Sprite. And then the question becomes, what do I want? The moment I think I want to draw more cards. I want to draw a lot more cards, I guess. Silhouhatte Rabbit. Set the Statue of Anguish pattern before we go for Desires. I would love for Lord of the Heavenly Prison to eventually get me my DPE, but I accept that 2 cards is worth it. Looks like I already banished a DPE brick, and then I drew a DPE brick. Pretty solid. Alright, Lord of the Heavenly Prison. Protecting all the back row so they can't just Harpy's Feather Duster and be done with it. Over to them. The rabbit was too intimidating. Alright, for rabbiting all over my opponent who decided not to play a single card. Still give me good cards. Let's go. Cosmo Dogfight. Oh, I did the thing again. Alright. Cosmo Dogfighter, Chronomaly Mud Golem, Dragoonity Tribus, ZW Sylphid Wing, Force Resonator, Reptilian Recoil, Beta the Magnet Warrior, and Silent Graveyard. You know, I guess I'm glad that I accidentally double-clicked, or whatever it is that I keep on accidentally doing, because there's not a whole lot here to discuss. Silent Graveyard is a good floodgate. It discards for cost there, and of course there's certain cards that love being discarded, like the Fableds and stuff like that. Who, at least, you know, the ones that don't care about whether it's discard by cost or discard by effect, which is mostly just the Fableds. But anyway, discard a card, effects that activate in the graveyard this turn are negated. So, you know, it's an Abyss Dweller in a quick play spell form. Pretty strong against certain strategies, but only strong going first for the most part. Glad to have it in the collection. The rest of this, I'm not sure if I'll ever end up using it, but one to grow on yet again. We continue. We keep on going. We keep moving. All right, loading in, going first. The hand is okay. What? All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time in the episode. I've got 10 legacy packs here, and then we'll do the final master pack. Wow. Yeah, I spaced out during that last duel because the opponent held me during my draw phase, and then they didn't run out the full timer, but they just waited for a very, very long time and then exited their program. So not the way I would hope to end this episode, but unfortunately, I've been grinding for as long as I have time for. Anyway, here are 10 legacy packs. Let's go for a compulsory evacuation device, please. All right, what do we see? End of the line. If your life points are lower than 100, draw 2 cards, and if lower than 10, draw 2 additional cards. Never going to be able to use that. Release Restraint Wave. Target a face-up equip spell card you control. Destroy the equip spell card and all face-down spell and trap cards your opponent controls. Not very good. Just looking around for other stuff. More Performapal is always welcome in case that is ever viable. Goblin out of the firing pan. Pay 500, negate the activation of a spell card and return it to the owner's hand. I mean, if this was early Masochist, I probably would have paid that. Played it. Assuming it's a you can only use spell card anyway. Command Performance. If you control a Performapal, change all face-up attack position monsters your opponent controls to defense position. Monsters changed by this effect cannot change their battle positions until the end of the next turn. Not terrible for Performapals, but nothing else really grabbing my attention here, so let's go to the final master pack. All right, for my second time, literally just this session, exercising extreme patience against an opponent abusing their timer, can we end with something cool? Overpowering Eye. Target a zombie with 2,000 or less attack, it can attack directly. Whatever. Adelaria of the June Moon. If you control a face-up card in your spell and trap zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. Not bad. Gain 600 attack defense for each face-up spell trap on the field. Okay. You can send 2 face-up cards from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard. Send a level 4 or lower monster from your deck to the graveyard. Honestly, this isn't terrible. I often will have face-up spell traps. That's not too hard a condition to fulfill. And then send 2 face-up cards from spell and trap to grave to Foolish is not terrible. I don't know for my deck. I'm not running continuous traps other than mostly like the trap monsters that will no longer be in the spell and trap zone. But pretty cool card regardless. The Big Cattle Drive, Time Thief Chronocorder. I do have Redoer. During your opponent's battle phase, you contribute this card. The next battle damage you take from an opponent's monster's attack this turn is inflicted to your opponent instead. And if a face-up Xyz monster you control leaves the field by card effect, such as Redoer, while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. I think even if you're trying to play Time Thief these days, this is probably a card that you are not playing. Assault Sentinel. You contribute this card, special summon 1 monster from your hand or deck that mentions Assault Mode activate. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except Synchro monsters. You can target a face-up monster you control, reveal 1 Synchro monster in your extra deck, and if you do, the targeted monster's type and attribute become the same as the revealed monsters until the end of this turn. I do have the trap card, the Assault Mode activates. I don't have most of the rest of the assault mode package that people usually play. Infernoble Knight Ricciardetto. This might be nice just because I now have the Infernoble Synchro that is a non-targeting pop. But let's have a read. You can banish this card from your hand or graveyard, special summon a level 4 or lower Fire Warrior monster from your hand as a tuner. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target a level 4 or lower Fire Warrior monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except warrior monsters. Not bad. I've mentioned before that I've been brewing like a Fire Warrior thing with the Ignites and the Infernobles and some other random cards that I've gotten. That could certainly go in that brew, but to be honest, we're a few more cards away from that thing ever seeing the light of day. Gaga Rush, a Gaga card, and Cyberdark Inferno, the Cyberdark field spell. I'll gladly take the Infernoble card for down the line, and the Adelaria seems like kind of a cool free agent. But nothing huge here. I'm most of the way through gold at this point. I think I've got 4 more wins until I get into platinum once more, so I'll be finishing that up on the next episode. If you'd like to keep up with the series, obviously the best way to do that is subscribe, but either way, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you next time.